Alright, so it is the 4th of November 2024, another journal, and it's more in depth on, say, kind of going back to how I used to do it. I do prefer doing the quick ones, so it doesn't feel like I'm committing to doing videos rather than trading, but I think this is quite important for my journal. I've taken a step back from paper trading, obviously, clearly, because obviously, like, compared to my hypothetical trades, I was very profitable when it comes to when it came to paper trading. I struggled a lot, emotionally, disciplinary, all that kind of way. I pretty much completely struggled with it. I think went into like 5 or 6% drawdown like that on my overall account in a month, and it's obviously clear that I need more studying to do. So I've been studying heavily on ICT, market maker model. I've been studying a lot on. I mean, I even really found it on. There was even one on the in London session today. So when we look at, am I on the right bit? No, that's not it. There should be like a curve. To this. No, that is not it. Here we go. So I'm essentially learning about the sell side of the curve, and then the buy side of the curve. So basically what I've learned is on the sell side of the curve. So I do think overall in the high time frame we're bearish. If we look down, we've had a daily market structure shift, we've left a daily fair value gap. I do feel like we should trade back up into it. But when we go to the lower time frame, I think it was on the 1 minute. Let's reset the chart view. Cool, let's just go to the 5 minute. Right, so you can see on the 5 minute, after Asia, you can see that there's a accumulation, big accumulation here. This is all it is, which basically is consolidation. Then you get the sell side expansion, and while obviously it goes down, there is sell side liquidity being engineered constantly. So here, here, we've also got equal highs here. 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, whatever, it's still equal highs here. So I do think today's bullish in the sense of going up to balance the daily phase. But what I'm learning, is actually quite nice to learn about is the market maker model. So like I said, you've got the sell side of the curve, which is essentially reaccumulation, push down, reaccumulation, push down, and then it retraced into this 1 hour order block. After that, we could see that not only does it retrace into that 1 hour order block, but we get an internal liquidity sweep beforehand. That's what I like to see, an internal liquidity sweep. And let's get the internal liquidity sweep, we get the displacement to the upside, which is here, which is also known as a market structure shift. I feel like market structure shifts are not exactly need to be looked for, but at least a displacement up to the upside. Then, you can look for some entry. Obviously, this is a London session, so obviously I wouldn't enter, but the model still happened. So yeah, I've been learning about like different type of blocks, rejection blocks, vacuum blocks, all that kind of stuff, propulsion blocks. But yeah, you could have entered here. Let's just say 50 points. Actually, let's just put at the lows, straight at the lows. Right, could have targeted some internal liquidity, say up here, 3.58R. Would have probably been stopped out break even, but you can see on the 5 minute, we have a rejection block. Now a rejection block is when there's 3 candles, let's just say here, here and here. The middle candle basically means that the closing price is, say, in a bullish rejection block, closes below these 2 candles, and it leaves this big wick, which is a rejection block. Notice how price comes into the rejection block, pretty much respects consequent encroachment of it, and then pushes up. That could be another entry. But yeah, what I'm looking at now is price has come back down into this 15 minute order block. You have to be careful due to the fact that obviously in the 30 minute it looks like a 30 minute push down from this 30 minute fair value gap, but on the 15 minute it looks more bullish. Go into this 15 minute order block, and you've got a rejection. I've also been learning about propulsion blocks. as well. There was one somewhere, was it on the 1 minute? I noticed it. Yeah, so the propulsion block is basically the block of the reaction from after the, let's get rid of this 15-minute order block. So see this order block here, this 1 minute order block. Price is reacted from this 1 minute order block here, which we get. A propulsion block is an order block. It's just like a reinforced type of order block, like a different type of order block. It's another order block, but it's an order block created after rejection of the initial order block. So see here, ICT was talking about how you wouldn't need to end at the body, literally at the top of the candle at the wick, and it's meant to explode upwards, which it did. That's why it's called propulsion block. So yeah, I mean, you can literally see the like is the concepts work. Like I've learnt it today, and then when I go into the charts, it literally happens. I'm actually going to create one now, like a type of setting for the propulsion block. But yeah, that's what I'm learning so far. But my daily bias for the day, bullish. Only on the lower time frames. Also in the higher time frame, we are bearish completely. But I do want to see price to I'm going to change the settings of this. But I do think price is going to go up only into that daily fair value gap just to rebalance price and to come back down. That is how I see it. So yeah, yeah, that's my look on the day. But yeah, I'll be back at open. So my hypothetical trailing stop loss has been triggered. Let's get into trade recap. End of the day, it's a good day because it's in profit. That's the main thing. If it goes my take profit, it goes my take profit. It doesn't matter. I do believe it's going to go higher today based on the sell side liquidity we swept, but let's get into it. So we start on the 15 minute. Oh, actually no, let's start on the 4 hour. So you can see all this sell side liquidity here. You can see that from the previous week, we're rejecting off this 4 hour fair value gap. There is a daily fair value gap here that needs filling, so I'm thinking after this sweep of liquidity, we're going to go up here to fill it. But we're having continuation from this rejection, this 4 hour fair value gap here. Cool. So once we see that, I went to the 15 minute, and I notice that price will see there's a constant continuation down. Just a bunch of sell side liquidity swept, price under midnight opening price, and we can see that once price swept all this, the daily and weekly, the previous daily and previous weekly low. No, saying that, did we sweep the weekly low? No, we didn't. So I was wrong there. So we swept the daily previous low. My apologies. And then we had a massive rejection up. We inverse a lot of fair value gaps, but to me that's not really enough. There's not really enough confluence to enter like that. We inverse this 5 minute. I entered literally on the next 1 minute fair value gap, covering this 3 minute fair value gap, because looking at it, unless we want to go all the way below past this 5 minute fair value gap, we have to go to this fair value gap here. I just really didn't think we was going to go there. I was thinking we was going to at least reject off this. I didn't cover it, but I was very confident that we was going to have a big push off that 3 minute fair value gap, which we did. We had a 1 minute and 2 minute change in state delivery to the upside. Then we did actually have a internal market shift up to the upside. Price was rejecting off this breaker block here. I did have the use of the propulsion blocks today, which did work because price came down, pushed all the way up. So that was a valid propulsion block. And I put once we push all the way up here, I put my trailing stop loss below this breaker, which I thought was a valid area to put it. So we did get closed out in profit. I mean, what was the R? It was 0.22 R in profit. I was targeting this formula. This I think it's a 15 minute high. Yeah, I take it's a 30 minute high. Yep. 1 hour high. No, but it was into a bit. It would have gone into a 1 hour order block to be fair. But it's targeting a 15 and 30 minute high. But yeah, so 0.22 on the day. Obviously, if I was to actually take a proper trade or paper trade, I would have trimmed the contract at the place I put it at. I think it was it was here. Would have trimmed one contract and put my stop loss to break even. So yeah, we're out on profit on the day, and that's it. I probably am not going to trade for the rest of the day, unless I find a better setup. Which, if I'm honest with you, I'd rather just not trade now. I've made my profit, and that's that. We can see, the sell side of the curve, how much buy side liquidity has been engineered. We got it. Got something here. It's just we've had like a big sell side expansion down the whole day. So yeah, on the 2 minute, on the 3 minute, it looks quite optimal, like a continuation sell. Like we could look at this as a continuation. We've hit equilibrium with the 3 minute range. Now we could hopefully see some sort of push up. We're accumulating here at the moment. I think we can look at this as kind of like a consolidation right now. But hopefully from that consolidation we have an expansion. And then possible entries could look good again, sorry. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to, stay watching until about 10:30, 10:45. I can't find anything, that's it for the day. So yeah, I'll probably be back soon. So price did end up hitting my take profit. I was going to have a re-entry here. I was thinking about re-entering here, and then targeting up here, but because we had obviously a change state delivery, obviously at the time I thought it would be a market structure shift. We wicked it, and then we did push up after the retracement into that fair value gap. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to say I should have entered, because really I stayed quite passive. I didn't want to enter too aggressively. I wanted to wait for a break above then an entry, but it is what it is. Price to go all the way up to my TP and higher. Went up to this 30 minute high. Well, could say 15 minute. Yeah, 15 minute high. Went all the way up there. Price is probably going to go higher, probably up here. But yeah, so my analysis was correct, my setup was good. I was waiting quite a bit of drawdown beforehand, but ended up going my way. I did say that, I think I just said it earlier as well, but I did say that if we inverse this 3 minute fair value gap and closing out, but he didn't inverse it, so it was good. Had that big push up, but yeah, trail stop loss was hit, did make some money today, and that is what it is, and that's it. I'm not going to trade for the rest of the day. I mean, my rule is that once it hits 11 o'clock I don't trade. Got half an hour left. I really doubt I'm going to find another good setup. I mean, there could be like an entry at this order block here, but I personally feel if I look at the 5 minute, I think there's going to be some room to retrace down into this fair value gap here possibly before going up. We have just entered this 5 minute fair value gap and we're rejecting off of it now. But yeah, I mean, yeah, saying that, this could be possibly a decent entry. Possible order block entry here. Stops at the lows, take profit. Say up here potentially. That's midnight opening price, or even liquidity level. Let's say 2R. It's actually a pretty interesting setup. This is sweep of internal liquidity. Sweep of internal liquidity. Market structure shift to the upside. It's a pretty nice entry actually in my opinion. Hopefully we enter this order block. But yeah, I haven't entered by the way, I'm just talking as if it was an entry. This seems like a pretty good setup. I mean, if it's not, it's not. But the 2 minute just looks like we're wicking it. But on the 1 minute, it looks pretty valid into that 1 minute order block. We'd expect to push up. But this should be actually a propulsion. This should be a propulsion candle because we're rejecting off this 1 minute order block here. That's what propulsion is like an order block created from an order block. So this should be a propulsion block by ICT terms, but whether it is or not, it's another thing. Yeah, we'll just see what happens. I mean, again, this is a pretty decent entry, but I'm not going to enter, don't really want to risk anymore. But the reason why I'm doing 1 to 2 is because usually I find that as the most optimal way to trade. I mean, we've got liquidity up here, hopefully it pushes a little bit above. I mean, you could even say that if we had a push above here, if it does retrace back down and say this breaker here, that could be a decent entry. But at the end of the day, like most of my targets I've had, it's kind of gone now. I mean, I do see price going all the way up here, but that could be tomorrow or later in the PM session, and I don't trade the PM session. So I think it was just that initial push in, like aggressive push in, was quite intimidating. But this propulsion block should be valid. Rejection off of that. Up, closed above this previous 1 minute high. Retrace back into the propulsion block. It should really shoot up. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. It doesn't always do that, and it's not meant to do it every time. But yeah, we'll see what happens.